All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another video. All right, y'all, back with some weird news, interesting news here. I don't know where to start with this one, but, Marcus Bell and BJ hit me up with this one again. And, I had to come through and give you my thoughts on this rumor or maybe potential matchup. As y'all know, there's a rumor that Katlyn Chookagian may be taking on Amanda Ribas May 14th, right? May 14th. According to some sources on Twitter, I saw one that they posted up in it was like in Spanish. I didn't hit the translation, but I saw somebody else already take that tweet and run with it, and they translated, said Katlyn Chookagian will possibly be making her return May 14th against Amanda Ribas, right? Now, as y'all know, Katlyn Chookagian, she's kind of been kind of on the back burner in the moment. She's kind of been stuck in limbo, even though, she won her last fight. She's kind of been just stuck because the UFC hasn't renewed her contract. So, up until this date, she's really been a free agent, right? She's been kind of dealing with that situation. So, she's just been waiting for a fight to see what they do. We talked about it. I talked about it over here. Like I said, Katlyn Chookagian is a must keep for the UFC at this moment as the number one contender in the flyweight division. As Jessica Andrade moves down, there's still a good purpose for Chookagian to stick around. She's one of those fighters that continues to win and wants to fight, right? And then you got on this side, you got Amanda Ribas, who we all know fights at 115, but she has been known to dabble at 125, which I'll talk about here in a minute. Right now she's been waiting on a fight. She was originally supposed to be facing it off against Michelle Waterson. Fight was pushed back twice. Finally canceled because Michelle Waterson had to, take a break, could possibly have a career-ending injury. So, that's out. So in the meantime, when you look at the schedules on the rankings for both flyweight and strawweight, these two are kind of left out. Everybody's been taken or everybody has just fought, right? So they're just trying to make a fight now. I think they're just trying to make a fight, to get both of these fighters back in there to make some money and stay active. But my thoughts on this matchup now, with so much going on and just so much talent in both divisions and so many better matchups, I personally don't really care for the matchup. Now, maybe if Amanda Ribas was at 125 and, she was, or maybe even if she was at 115 and she did a few things at 115 where she got up to number one or number two, and then all of a sudden she found out she couldn't make the weight, she had 125, fine. I could agree with that. But right now, Amanda Ribas is on the lower half of the top 10. What is she right now? Like number 8 or 9? Or is she number 10? Or she rounded off at number 10, right? Let me know in the comment section. But anyways, Ribas is down at the bottom of the strawweights. And, she still really hasn't showed like, oh, she's one of the most deadly strawweights as well, right? She's got a bit of a well-rounded game, but it's not really like a pound-for-pound style that makes us want to say, okay, she can move up like Jessica Andrade did. Jessica Andrade already fought for the belt twice or 3 times or whatever, held the belt and wanted to take her chances at another weight. So that made sense. But for Ribas, even if there is nobody available, this fight doesn't really make sense for her, I don't think. I mean, granted, I understand that they need money. They want to stay active, but I think there's better matchups out there, even for Katlyn Chookagian. I mean, for Katlyn, I could understand why she would want to take it because, she's fought everybody. She's fought everybody and she's fighting somebody that says they can move up to 125 or 115. They're a tweener, right? Ribas is a bit of a tweener. So Chookagian, I could understand why she would accept the fight because she wants to go ahead and renew her contract. And they were probably like, okay, you want to renew your contract, this is the first fight you got to take. You know what I mean? So Chookagian, she's kind of in that boat where it's like, I've been there, done that, fought the champion. Right now, I just want to fight a few more times, before I retire. So granted, I could understand her situation. She'll be like, hey, I fight anybody. She wanted to call out Grasso when she was number 10, right? So that makes sense. But for Ribas, I would try to, hold out or see if the UFC can bring in a strawweight, bring in a new strawweight, sign a new strawweight to the women's division in the UFC, right? That would make sense for her. I mean, or try to wait for like Yan Xiaonan, you know what I mean? Yan Xiaonan just had a fight. She came out looking okay, everybody, we thought she won that fight. But other than that, I think Yan Xiaonan would be game for a quick return, maybe like July or June or July. So I don't understand why, they didn't try to get that fight made. Or Nina Ansaroff. Nina Ezerov. I mean, there's fights right there, you know. So there's a lot of good fights for Ribas to take on, and there's a lot of strawweights for her to take on, even if she had to backtrack and fight an unranked fighter in the moment, because you want to stay around in your division and you want to stay active in that division that you want to get the belt in, right? That's my whole thing. Where you're ranked highest at, you want to stay in that division and continue to just work on your skills for that particular division, right? Because moving up to fight Katlyn Chookagian at 125, I don't think that does anything for her. Again, I know these fighters, they want to go in there so they have heart and they want to fight anybody, but I think there's still a business move to it as well, where they have to say, okay, well, is this going to deter me from my path? Is this going to take me off the path to 115? Like, I don't want to mess that up, Because in all honesty, I mean, when it comes down to it, I got Katlyn Chookagian winning that fight all day long. I mean, Katlyn just has the size, the reach, and she just has the skills. I don't know what Ribas could offer to really pull off the upset against Katlyn Chookagian. I mean, she don't have the power like Andrade and the strength. I mean, her moving up to 125, I still don't know if she'll have like a speed advantage over Katlyn Chookagian. Katlyn Chookagian is built for this division. This is her. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole situation. I really don't care for the fight. It's just one of those bad matchmaking deals, like when the UFC, just reaches for it's like they purposely reach for a mismatch, if that makes sense. Like when they did the signing of Elise Reed to fight Sarge, like, come on, they could have told Elise Reed, hey, like, we can get you a strawweight. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many unsigned strawweights or unranked strawweights that Elise Reed could have fought. Like, y'all should have put her in there in her debut like that. And then Tabitha Ricci, you know what I mean? Y'all scoop her up and make her fight Manon Fiorot. That's a bad mismatch. You know what I mean? Like, those were the two of the worst mismatches in, like, the past year or two in WMMA, which I might have to do a video on just to let y'all know how bad the matchmaking y'all be doing sometime, man. Because I'm like, come on, yo, like, there's so many good fighters out there for Ribas to fight. Like, Kanako Murata, maybe, I don't know if she's healed up from her arm, but come on, there's fighters down there on the lower rung. Lupi Benitez likes to come back fast. I know she got a fight coming up, but hell, she likes to come back fast. Schedule some with her and Ribas, right? There's a lot of good fights out there. Vanessa Demopoulos, hey, they want to fight. Ashley Yoder, I would rather see those fights because they're in the strawweight division. But when you start, like, just making these weird mismatches, like the number 1 contender fighting like the number 10 a strawweight, I'm like, what? Come on now. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Final thoughts. I don't really care for this matchup, but if I had to pick, I would definitely say Katlyn Chookagian would win this fight. Could turn out to be a good fight, it could, but I don't really think there's any substance to this matchup. Because let's say if Amanda Ribas pulls off the victory, what does that mean? She's got the number 1 contender spot at 125. Does that mean she's ready for Valentina for real? See, that's why they have to be careful with these matchups. Because if she won, let's say if she submitted Katlyn Chookagian or beat her real bad, let's just say that happened. What would happen? She would say, okay, I'm number 1. Valentina, I'm coming for you after Taylor Santos. And we know that wouldn't be realistic. Just because you could beat this one fighter don't mean that you earn that spot. But hey, Jessica Andrade, she did it right. But again, Jessica, she had more to stand on. So yeah, guys, that's all I got on this one. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Hopefully this is a rumor and it just stays a rumor. I just want to give you my thoughts on, the mismatches as of lately. But yeah, we might have to do a video. I might have to do a video on that in the coming week, man. Combo Breaker 99. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.